can help you anymore. Datum received.
Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike. Today I want to talk to you about the New Age Legendary Heroes 44EX Commander Ymir. Well, I'm not going to call him Ymir, I'm going to call him Grimlock. But this I got from Shozi. I have a link down below where you can get yours also. And I also got more of these rub symbols. They're just giving you all of this with every order right now. I don't know how long they're going to keep doing that. It's pretty cool overall. But this is a pretty good figure, and I waited for a EX version, or I guess that's toy version. I always thought it meant extra painted version, but I passed on the Toon colors because I had one of those Toon colors. And how does this stack up? Well, we're going to find out. Coming up. Here it is in the packaging, and it looks so G1-esque. It's very, very G1-esque type of packaging. That's one of the things I liked about it when I started seeing this stuff showing up, that the packaging looked really cool. So now it's not exactly a knockoff of G1, but it's really close. It's got the vibes to it. It works. It gets the job done. Nice packaging. Here he is right out of the package, and it's very nice looking. Dino mode. He does come with the sword, which we'll take a look at in bot mode, the gun, which we'll take a look at in bot mode, and I guess the hands, we're going to plug them in bot mode. So with this, he does look like a toy-inspired version of Grimlock, and wonderful paint, vac metallized chrome throughout in multiple areas. I do like the clear translucent, which we'll see when we get to a toy comparison and all of that good stuff. So looking really good overall, trying to match that toy aesthetic is pretty much what they're doing. Now, I'm kind of torn between Toon and toy when it comes to Dinobots, because I do kind of like this look more than the Toon, but I kind of have another one of these that's in Toon, so we'll be able to compare all of that. But let's get into some articulation. First of all, he does have at the top articulated eyes, so we're going to lift this up and articulate his eyes around and make them red. Just like that. Same as we kind of do with all of these Grimlocks. They have that changeable eye function. Okay, so you open the mouth, and inside here is, you can attach the flame that came with the first version, but it doesn't come with a flame. Yes, you can put the sword in there. Doesn't make any sense, really. Head goes side to side, up and down. And then we get to these arms. These arms really are kind of strange, because you can rotate them up or down and then in and out, but you really can't, he can't move his, there's no joint right here. They can't really do more than just this. So it's some articulation, and way more than we got in the vintage one, but ball joints have a lot more movement, but they didn't go with that. And I don't know, people think ball joints are kind of cheap, but anyway, getting down here to the legs, they go front and back, and then you can go all the way out to the side like this, and then the knee kind of goes forward but not backward, so it doesn't really act as a knee. Anyway, you just need them to stand here and stand straight and look pretty good. So that's all there really is to that one. And so looking good overall. Definitely all these applied stickers already, or decals, or however they put them on there, that looks good too. I really didn't want to put any stickers on them, so glad they did it already. My first comparison is going to be next to the DX9 that was KO oversized by McFans Toys. This is McFans Toys, KO oversized of DX9, and this is a cartoon looking color. Now, I do want to say, side by side, this looks like a better Grimlock in Dino mode than this, but this was like super early on in the early days of the Legends, and it was KO of a very old design. But it's still not horrible over here, but this, as you can see, is so much better. It does look more like what we would expect to see, and so this is a Toon look versus toy look, and I kind of missed the whole toy when it came to this one, but I do have the swoop. Now, one of the things I've found about Legends, and for the most part, a lot of the figures for Legends are about the same size and scale, and sometimes even a little bit bigger than G1. And so when it came to to this one over here, it's about the same size, and in bot mode we'll see about the same size, maybe a little bit bigger than G1. So that's one of the ones, but of course that's a KO oversized. So looking at this, it's a little smaller than a G1. Would it fill in as a G1 Dino? Maybe, but that's kind of one of the things I've noticed over time. Now, you can see very little articulation in the arm back in the G1 day, but a lot more here, but still not as much as I would like. But you have this, you could actually rotate his knee in both directions if you wanted to on the G1 versus on this one here. But I want to point out kind of the vac metallized part right here. We're going to see that in the bot mode. We see the clear translucent right here. So a lot of the toy did carry over into this, and that is what I like. And I think the community is pretty split on this. Tune versus toy when it comes to dinos. And then do you store them or display them in Dino mode, or do you display them in bot mode? So that's kind of like a 50-50 split on both of those. So other items for comparison, we have Magic Square Jazz, we have the NewAge version, I think they call him, is it Henry? Magic Square Optimus, this is Iron Factory, and then some between Magic Square and NewAge in alt mode. So you kind of get size for scale. I think it's pretty good. I mean, he needs to be bigger, like even bigger than Prime, and so that works. He'll fit with either your NewAge or your Magic Square in Dino mode. So let's get him transformed up. So for transformation, there's a lot of similarities between this and the original G1 transformation, but with a modern flair, a bit of a different take on doing the same thing, and similar to kind of some of the other stuff we've seen back in the day. So we got to separate the leg and then separate this tail. And then this is kind of an interesting part, which is a little bit different in a way. We're going to flip this around. Like so. And then we got to get in here to the inside of the leg, and we're going to fold this stuff all up into here. And then we're going to collapse this back piece in as kind of a foot filler. And we got junk in here, so it's just some junk. It's not really a trunk, but it's junk in here. Let's do this other leg over here. So we're folding it out a bit, and then we need to, I guess, tuck this in while we rotate this leg part around. And then we have the leg in position. And we're going to fold this into here. I think I'm not really sure exactly how I'm doing this part wrong. Okay, fold this in and then fold this up. I'll mess with that here in a bit. That doesn't quite seem right to me. I missed some little minor step. You've got to fold this way to fill that gap in. So kind of silly, but yeah, that's there's going to be some gap fillers coming for this, because I mean, just looking at that doesn't look exactly the best in the world, but it gets the job done for now, I guess. So, all right, so next, the quintessential transformation, pull the head back, and we're going to separate these parts here, and carefully not to scratch your chrome all up. All right, so disconnect these shoulders right here so that you can slide the chest all the way up, and then you're going to fold this down. There's a tab and a slot right there for it to go in. Fold it back. Then we can put the shoulders back into place up higher, and gives it a nice look to it. Now this is kind of cool too. So you have a wide leg, pull this out, and then rotate it around, and now you have a slim hand arm kind of thing going on here. Same thing over here. I had already done that one, so anyway, that's a cool idea, a pretty cool concept that they had sort of come up with. Or no, I didn't do that. Somehow I rotated that around. So anyhow, that's interesting. That's like some pretty cool stuff there. Now I haven't put the hands on it yet, so I guess I'm about to do that right now and plug the hands in. You can have whatever you want on the hands, like this guy here, and then than a fist here. Probably do want both fists though, because you want to hold both of your weapons and accessories and that kind of stuff. But yeah, there he is in his robot mode. A couple of interesting points that are a little different, but for the most part, the overall thing's about the same. All right, so getting a nice close-up look at this guy, he looks fantastic. I do like, of course, the vac metallized chrome and all that kind of stuff, and I do like the paint, the stickers, all of that. It looks fantastic on this guy. So starting with that, we have all of the stuff that carries over from the Dino mode, but we also have some more sticker decals right here on the hip flaps, which they're not hiding hip flaps, so that's different. Going backwards a little bit, and then going all the way down here, just all that stuff. So very toyetic. We're gonna see it compared to the G1 here in just a bit on the back. Very clean, just very clean overall. And I do like kind of how the whole leg looks. That looks fantastic. So, in the arm, then that whole gimmick with the arm was pretty cool. So that's really awesome. Kind of the elbow really is missing. That's not really that big of a deal though. So overall, this is definitely a huge upgrade to what DX9 did back in the day. And so I hope they do all the dinos, because if they all look this great, that's going to be pretty awesome. And yeah, I'm pretty pleased. For articulation, you've got the head on the ball joint, so he can do pretty much anything that you want him to do with that nice painted visor of his. Now, I did kind of leave this out a bit. He can do quite a bit of range if you want to pull that out, but if you want to push it back in, then less range. So shoulder goes up to here, like so, more than you'd ever need. Of course, goes all the way around, hindered by this back piece for the most part. Do have bicep swivel. He didn't have that in Dino mode, and you get pretty much a 90 at the elbow. And then hands, well, you got two different types of hands. They splay or they fist, whichever one you want. Now you do have an ab crunch, and they're doing the good old magic square ab crunch. So to the degree, waist swivel, trying to show off that, you know, Seekers don't have waist swivels. Goes all the way out to here, all the way to the back. You do have a butt flap and a front flap, and the front flap has a sticker. You do have kind of a universal joint right here. So it looks to be double jointed, but you don't get the benefit of double joint. So it's like a single joint. Not a big deal to me at all, any way, shape, or form. And then down here, kind of a mess. Toes. I guess I didn't show what all the tails articulated in Dino mode. I didn't show that, but I don't think that's really that big of a deal. Anyway, yeah, decent articulation. What does the toe do? Doesn't seem like the toe's there, but it doesn't look like it does anything. You just have a kind of a rocker. So yeah, pretty much what you'd need. Here we go for accessories, and for accessories we have this nice sword, transparent, which is pretty cool, looks pretty good. No, the G1 toy didn't have it. And then this is the gun, which, okay, so the toy G1 gun is kind of a double barrel kind of thing, and this is how it looks. And it doesn't really match that, so I'm not sure, but I guess that's just a gun that came with the last one, and maybe that's more tune accurate, but I was expecting a toy accurate gun. But I guess we'll take what we can get, and we get what we get. We don't throw a fit, right? All right, now for comparison to the toy, as you can see, it is definitely an updated version of the toy version. Now, looking at them, as you're seeing right here, almost the same size. Now, in your mind, is a Legends figure, even especially a NewAge, which usually runs smaller on the scale, about the same size as a G1 toy? It's impressive that most of the time these Legends figures do match the size and scale of the G1 toys, even though we think of them as so small. But it's pretty cool. Could you swap this out on your G1 shelf? Yeah, you could actually, as an upgraded G1 version. So now looking at this though, we do have the toy correct gun right here, and I don't even know if this is technically Grimlock's sword. Maybe it is. I'm not sure. Yeah, I guess it is. But I just randomly grabbed one that was in a bag and said, hey, looks like a sword. All those Dino swords look so similar that I got to like reference to see which one's which. But from the side, a sleeker profile definitely than the original G1. The kibble's still there. They got rid of that kibble and put it all on the inside. And then from the back, way cleaner. I really do. It's just so amazing where we were, where we've come from. But I think back in the day, this is still, like, it was a $20 figure. It was an expensive figure back in the day. I forgot the price. I think these run about 80. Yeah, it's a pretty expensive figure. Is it 80 or 60, 80, something like that? Pretty expensive figure overall for Legends, but definitely worth the engineering, right? This is, but the reason I want to point it out, I think this was like 25 or 30 when it was up for sale, and I got it. And this is the Toon look of it's the McFans Toys KO Oversized, so it's going to be bigger than this one. The DX9 is actually probably smaller than that one because they did a pretty significant upscale on this one. So a couple things that you look at. This one actually came with the toy accurate gun, even though it was going for the Toon look, and this sword is silver, which I don't know why, but it does have some interesting deco and stuff, but doesn't go as far as having the stickers and all that kind of stuff. But this is, of course, going for Toon. The stickers here are going for the toy, and it gets the job done. Here's a quick group shot of them so you can kind of see this one's bigger than the toy. This one's just slightly smaller, almost about the same size. Just kind of get an idea. And let's see how it compares to a Swoop. And the McFans Toys, the KO Oversized version of Swoop. Now, the reason I picked this Swoop up was because before I even got into Legends, and I knew Legends was a thing, and I was like, you know what, that would fit my G1 scale. It'd be like having a really amazing upgrade to a G1, which we seem to never be getting at retail, and so we got it. I at the time, and I was like, wow, this is pretty good. It's pretty good overall, and it still fits. So if you have all the rest of these dinos, this would fit. We just slide him in as your Grimlock, but I'm pretty sure NewAge is going to get around to doing all of them eventually. And you're probably all wondering, how does he fit in with my Magic Square collection? So I generally have more Magic Square than NewAge, although NewAge does have a bit better paint, present better. I like the kind of scale and aesthetic that we see with Magic Square, but this really feels like Magic Square design and NewAge paint. But this is Magic Square Prime right here, the first version. I'm not going in on the second version. This is the Magic Square Jazz, which looks fantastic. The NewAge Henry, because I've got the Magic Square ones in my display. And then this is the KO Oversized version of the Magic Square Trailbreaker, looking all good right there. I think he'll fit fine with all of them. He is supposed to be bigger. He's big. I mean, he's big. I think that's kind of one of the problems that plague the KO Oversized, and this one isn't too big like the KO Oversized ones are. All right, so this is my look at the NewAge Grimlock, the 44EX, and I gotta say that it's a very good figure overall. We're going to be getting some sort of leg fillers. I don't know if they're going to automatically send them or not, but that's, I think, the worst part of this figure. The little bit of the lack of articulation doesn't bother me at all, and I was kind of surprised they didn't have the hip flaps kind of sink into the leg when they move them, but it looks amazing. I love the back metallized plating in this. I love the paint, the presence, the finish. I like how big he is. The size, NewAge is really stepping up into the Magic Square scale of things and making things a bit bigger. I think they were way undersized in the beginning, but that might be a negative to some people. They might feel like it's too big, but I think it looks amazing. This is a fantastic looking figure, and it did not disappoint. It did not let me down. You can get this at ShowZ. I got mine at ShowZ. I'll have a link down below where you can get yours. Like and subscribe. Titanium Hanger out.
You do! Skylynx and Cosmos are still in repair bay, and Omega Supreme is away on a mission. So I, Grimlock, am constructing a new Autobot shuttle.
You no act like Dinobot, Grimlock. Me no like. Grimlock no fun.
And you, Scattershot, shall be the leader of the Technobots.
But I thought you were our leader.
Super intelligence is the only way you can defeat Abominus's brute force. It's the only way.
Grimlock right here. He loved to fish with Dinobots.
Me, Grimlock, say no fun to be genius all of time.